Okay, this is a video just to review a little bit about getting permits at Recreation.gov. So specifically for me, I'm thinking of the Inyo National Forest, and you can obviously work with all the different national forests, but this is the one in my backyard for the Sierra. Of exploring available permits is where we're going to go, but I just want to scroll you down through some of the overview and permit season information. I think it's important to note that permits are needed all year round for all of these entry points, and there's a few reasons for that. I think the biggest one is honestly safety. The other is that during the high season, which is now as we head into summer, we have quotas. And quotas are there just to limit the impact to a specific area and frankly to preserve all of our abilities to go on an outback backcountry adventure and not have it be overrun with people completely. It's not a perfect system. I'm not here to talk the politics of it, and it certainly doesn't guarantee anything since people can come in from all sorts of different directions and still coalesce at some main location. But that's why it exists, and so it's something to pay attention to. Um, it's worth noting as well that with the quotas, they allow people to book up to 40% of the reservations for one trailhead well in advance. So everyone who's a really good planner is going to benefit a ton from being right on top of this and getting to that first 40%. But then they allow for, sorry, I guess I should say it's 60% is already pre-reserved, and then 40% is basically going to become available 2 weeks prior to the actual reservation date at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And that's going to be worth referencing in a moment when we go over here. So if we explore available dates, I do want an overnight permit. It's overnight versus overnight exiting Mount Whitney. My dates, these are the dates I actually wanted, which is in June and for, let's say 3 people. And then it starts to actually just auto-populate and filter trailheads as well as what's available. And you can even reference on this map off to the right if you're unfamiliar. So someone like me that has a really kind of erratic schedule, it's hard sometimes for me to plan fully in advance, but I could decide that this is the one weekend I have with a friend to head out and then see what becomes available and kind of go from there for my trip planning. Or once again, if you are really planning ahead and getting to that first 60%, you might be able to reserve well in advance. So for instance, Gable Lake still has 5 spaces available that I could go and reserve for my party of 3 to go in on Saturday, the 26th of June and exit whenever I want. It's not really about what day you're in and out. That's only the case for Whitney. This is about just what day you enter. The rest of these with the green are saying that they are reserved at this point. So that 60% of the total quota is already reserved. So if I decide that all I really want to do is go in and out of Duck Pass on this weekend, I need to set an alarm or some kind of thing on my calendar that reminds me that at 7 a.m., starting 2 weeks before the date I want to reserve, I can get online and try again to get the last 40% quota of this particular trailhead. Once again, you can see some spots here. It's not in blue because it doesn't meet the number I requested. I needed 3 available spaces. This one just has 1. But over here it's in blue because there's 6. Here it's in blue just because it's 3. And then green is fully booked up. So certain areas, certainly like Little Lakes Valley, which is up in Rock Creek, kind of pretty close to my backyard here in Bishop. Really gorgeous trailhead. Takes you right up to 10,000 feet. So a lot of people like it because they don't have to hike with a ton of elevation gain. Totally booked up right now. Gonna have to wait to see 2 weeks out if you could get a spot there. Once you pick somewhere, let's say I want to go to Red Lake, which I bet you is probably over in McGee area. I can click book now and it will ask for my account information. And if you already have an account with Recreation.gov, filling out everything else will go a little quicker. If not, you can do this for the first time and save your account so in the future you can reserve your permits. There will be a small fee for doing a reservation ahead of time, but well worth it to know that you can get in on the trail you want and you won't run into any rangers that are going to ticket you for not having your permit. And that does happen despite the rumors. It's definitely, I run into people every year asking for permits, and it's nice to be able to give them and not be worried about it and certainly not have to pay any large fee. Hopefully that was helpful and good luck making some summer adventure plans.